Check it out, 758,000 power versus 534,000 power. This is a new stun comp I call the Red Velvet stun comp. I looked for a stun comp similar to the Black Raisin stun comp, and I think I found one. It doesn't use Almond, but you do have Tiger Lily in there, and with Tiger Lily and Red Velvet in there, you are stunning the enemies a ton. Check it out. It also helps align the enemies so Black Raisin can do maximum amount of damage. Now let's get into the details of what stats each of my cookies have. I got Red Velvet Cookie, Pure Vanilla Cookie, I got Black Raisin, Tiger Lily of course, and then the one variation that I've seen work both ways, though I do prefer Vamp, is you can use Strawberry Crepe instead of Vamp. And if you have a higher level Strawberry Crepe, go for it. Though most people have the higher leveled up Vamp because we are all trying to do max skill damage. So, let's show me the cookies. Here is my Pure Vanilla Cookie, alright? We are looking at a Pure Vanilla Cookie with cooldown of 20.3% and damage resist of 16.9%. Damage resist isn't that great. I want to get that up, right? We just want Pure Vanilla Cookie to heal as much as possible and survive as long as possible. Alright, Black Raisin. Black Raisin is just your standard attack top-ends. We are talking about an attack power of about 48,000. You can see the attack percentage is about 51.3% and the cooldown is 5.6%. Okay, we're going to talk about Vamp. Vamp's pretty standard. We got 46,000. On the attack power, 165 star, 54.2% on the attack percentage, a tiny bit of cooldown. Alright, let's talk about Tiger Lily. This is the weakness of my team right now. I want to get to Tiger Lily to about level 50 because right now, my Tiger Lily is pretty decent, right? We're talking about a health of 33,000 and attack of 15,000. But realistically, I just want my Tiger Lily to survive a little longer. Right now, my Tiger Lily dies too early, doesn't have enough health. I am focusing on leveling Tiger Lily. At least want to get to level 50. Important note, Tiger Lily wants that. You need to have good cooldown on Tiger Lily, at least about 11%, right? Because you want that start time to be at 3 seconds and not 4 seconds. If it's at 4 seconds, it throws off the timing. Tiger Lily will attack the other cookies before Black Raisin. You want Tiger Lily to go first, stun them, group them together, and then Black Raisin hits the group of enemies. The next cookie, and not last but not least, or last but not least, Red Velvet Cookie, right? So Red Velvet Cookie, I've been working on level 58, skill level 57. So you can see hit is huge, 131,000 and almost 40,000 defense. That is awesome. This cookie will survive. The attack power is pretty low though on Red Velvet Cookie. It's 17,000. Because of that, I opted to use more attack top-ends with a 12% cooldown just to get that start time reduced from 6 to 5. But try out different comps, try out different variations, right? If you put more cooldown on your Red Velvet Cookie, you're doing a little less damage, but you are able to stun the enemy more. And you want to take advantage of Red Velvet Cookie stun because it is 5 seconds long. That is an awesome stun. Alright, let's talk a few examples now. We're fighting a over 700,000 team again. And you'll notice that we have Tiger Lily going first. She groups them together, stuns them. Then Black Raisin comes in. And look, Tiger Lily is even getting in a second stun. Now, one thing to note on this is see Licorice, the minions. He is kind of a counter for this lineup because Black Lily, as you just saw, will attack the minions and not attack the group and not stun the group. So just beware, that's kind of the one big counter, Licorice. But as you can see, you can still win under the right circumstances. Man, that Herb Cookie will not fall. That is some decent damage, 130,000 right there from Red Velvet without a crit. Okay, 600,000 team, let's go. So, here we go. Tiger Lily pushes back. Black Raisin attacks. That wasn't a real clean hit. But did you see that? The healer got pulled to the front and then killed. And then Tiger Lily is stunning the group again. and they're all collected so Black Raisin can do the maximum amount of damage, right? You can see there's a real synergy here. You really have to get the timing just right. You got to get Tiger Lily going first, then you got to get Black Raisin to hit the group. You have to have your Red Velvet pull them, and sometimes if you're lucky, you'll even have Vamp hit before Red Velvet and kill them. So here's the stun comp, right? Common Black Raisin stun comp. Almond gets pulled by Red Velvet and messes up the whole stun comp. Stun comp is over. They got no shot. This is a free win. If you are using this team and you see Almond, go for it. It's almost always a free win as long as you have your team leveled up enough. Here is another Almond stun comp. This one is Ryman. Alright? So, we stunned everyone. Because the formation is a little different, we don't pull Almond, but because we stunned everyone, Almond casted his skill, but there was no activation because Rai was stunned, so she couldn't get her skill off, she couldn't get her shot off, and then Almond's just pointless in that case, right? Crushing it. Let's just go through one more example, just to see the timing, right? Here we go. Look for Tiger Lily. Tiger Lily's gonna go first, pushes back, Black Raisin, right? And then we're gonna pull the healer to the front. See, Vamp hit Pure Vanilla first. Pure Vanilla then got pulled to the front, hit by Red Velvet, and then Pure Vanilla got stunned again. So Pure Vanilla in that case had no shot. Pure Vanilla was getting hit by Vamp, Red Velvet, and the stun. So this is a nice example of when everything's clicking. I mean, this isn't a perfect comp, but for the most part, it works. Now I'm going to show you a little bit of story mode with Red Velvet. I just want to give you a little review in story mode. This is dark mode 922. I just want to show you that Red Velvet, when powered up, especially in these later dark mode worlds, can be a complete game changer, okay? Watch what happens here. Red Velvet can tank so much because of its huge defense and health, but it's gonna pull the enemy furthest away. The huge damage dealer on the back line is gonna get pulled to the front, right? And then they get hit with that 5-second stun. Huge difference. You're not getting assaulted by that backline huge DPS dealer. This one, right? 3 enemies in the back line, so Red Velvet didn't make that big of a difference, but look, Red Velvet's tanking it up. Red Velvet is surviving. And on these worlds, I've noticed that if you team Strawberry Crepe and Red Velvet, and you add in Lyco, then you have super tankiness. Watch. There is a backline quickie. Will Red Velvet pull this? Yes. Right? And because Red Velvet does so much damage, didn't even get to the stun. The enemy was just KO'd. Alright. Red Velvet, work your magic, right? Pulled another enemy, stunned, and killed almost instantly. I love it, right? Like, the units, the cookies are not even being threatened because the tanks are holding up so well. Here we are. A final boss, right? That boss at the back does huge damage, right? Pull that boss to the front, and they are stunned for 5 seconds. Such a game changer. Okay, now all your frontline dealers are doing damage. Oh, we pulled the other boss that was in the back, and now that boss is stunned for 5 seconds. Absolutely love Red Velvet in story mode. I could not get past early levels in World 9, started using Red Velvet after I powered up Red Velvet, and now I'm at 926 and still trying to go further. Yes, there is some issues with Red Velvet. Red Velvet, when faced with a boss that you might find in like the 15th or the 30th stage of a level, the giant bosses, Red Velvet will not pull that boss, right? So now, on a boss like Waffle Goliath, Red Velvet is not able to stun the boss. But if you notice the damage, Red Velvet is still doing decent damage. Look, if you see Black Raisin's damage, 94,000, Red Velvet's going to do about 65,000. That's decent damage. That's pretty good DPS for a unit that is your tank. But just keep in mind, Red Velvet not as good against the level 15, level 30 bosses. But all the stages in between, absolutely fantastic. So the too long don't read, Red Velvet, awesome in Arena. Use the Red Velvet stun comp. Red Velvet, awesome in most of the story modes. Red Velvet, not that great in Raid. I've been testing out Red Velvet in Raid. I'm getting about 300,000, 350,000 damage. The problem with Red Velvet is I'm not able to get off 2 attacks yet. I'll keep testing out Red Velvet if Red Velvet turns out to be good in Raid, which I don't think Red Velvet's going to be a real game changer in Raid. I'll let you know. The big problem with Red Velvet in Raid is the attack power is so low. Even though you're getting like 1,300% plus on the skill, you know, the attack being 17,000, 20,000, 21,000 at his highest level, that's just not enough damage for the guild boss, I think, to be a real impact. And I'll keep testing to let you know. But anyways, Red Velvet, stun comp, awesome. Try it out. Bye.